runs against Madison Bumgarner, but you look at this matchup, and you got Kyle Kendrick and Bumgarner. Bumgarner, one of the toughest lefties in the league, along with Clayton Kershaw, so you know all about him. But Kyle Kendrick's coming off a win against in his last start at home, which was good to see. His road numbers, although just 2-5, are a little bit better than they are at home. Of course, the key for Kyle is keeping the ball in the ballpark. He has allowed 21 home runs, the most in the major leagues. On the flip side, though, you got Madison Bumgarner. Fortunately, this is just the first time that the Rockies have seen him this year, because he is a horse out there. They've lost the last 3 games that he started, but not because of him. His ERA is below 2. He's coming off a 14 strikeout performance against San Diego. That is a career high for him. What he did last year, all the innings, MVP of the World Series. This is going to be a tough one. But if you get this, and then that'll be 3 series in a row that you've won.
Well, he's a true horse. But if you get this one, you take 2 out of 3 in San Francisco. You go to 8-4 against the Giants this year. And there's something about San Francisco always seems to bring out the best in the Colorado Rockies. We are set for Sunday afternoon baseball in the city by the bay. It's the Rockies and Giants. Come on back to San Francisco with us. Always good to be in San Francisco. Beautiful sights wherever you look. Rockies and Giants concluding their 3-game set. As we mentioned a moment ago, the Rockies 7-4 against the Giants this year. They lost yesterday 7-5, could not hold a 3-0 or 5-3 lead. It's the first time the Giants have beaten the Rockies this year at AT&T. DJ LeMahieu's leading it off, and the first pitch from Madison Bumgarner on the outside corner for a strike with a cutter at 88. And it's an 0-1 count on DJ. Batting .307. It is his 5th time this year that he is atop the Rockies lineup. And he starts out with a base hit to right. Good start for DJ. And the Rockies have the leadoff man aboard to begin the afternoon. The rest of the lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Walt likes to do this with left-handed pitchers on the mound. He'll bat Kyle Kendrick 8, so he moves Tulowitzki to the 2-hole. Nolan will bat 3rd, then Cargo with the good numbers against Mad Bum. Rosario, Huntley, Barnes, and in the 9 spot, Rafael Inoa, switch hitting utility player, bat playing left field this afternoon.
Well, it helps that Kyle Kendrick can handle the bat, so it affords you that luxury of hitting him 8th.
He does handle the bat fairly well. I will mention this to everybody out there. Nobody has stolen a base this year against Madison Bumgarner. In fact, you have to go back to about the middle of last year, the last time somebody stole a base against Bumgarner.
And it's not who you think it would be. It's not one of the premier base stealers. Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs.
Kind of one, he surprised him. It was a it was an ambush.
As soon as he came set, he took off, and by that time he's delivering the ball home. Yeah, 143 in a 3rd inning without a stolen base.
Madison Bumgarner, we were studying his numbers earlier, and so many people, the so-called experts, felt like, ooh, there could be a drop-off this year. Bumgarner, with what he did in the postseason, threw over 270 innings. Guess what? His numbers are virtually identical to last season, and if anything, they're slightly better in most notable categories. There goes DJ, and it's on the ground to short. So by starting LeMahieu, the Rockies have a runner in scoring position.
I'm going to go back to Madison. You were talking about his numbers in 270 innings in between 40 starts, or excuse me, 40 games, 39 starts. He was 22-11 with a 2.60 ERA. And I think everybody remembers the World Series MVP, but he had a 5-inning save in Game 7. I mean, that's how impressive this guy was last year. And now you're looking at it at 100 innings now. And there's been no drop off. You see 217, that's for the regular season. That doesn't include the postseason.
Nolan at the plate, but if you look at so many of the metrics this year compared to last year, everything is slightly better. Lefties, by the way, hitting just 193 against him. Righties 239.
There's only been 57 at bats by left-handers.
Yeah, most teams are not going to put many lefties in the lineup unless you have a special one like Cargo has great numbers against him from that side.
And that's 2 reasons why Charlie's not in there today. He needed a day off, but then when you got Bumgarner out there.
But the interesting thing, and you're right, and this had been planned for a while. Walt was looking to get a day off for his center fielder, and it makes sense to do it against Bumgarner. But Charlie's 6 for 14 lifetime against Bumgarner. The Rockies have a lot of guys in their lineup, and Bumgarner's won a lot of games against Colorado, but the Rockies have thrown out a lot of hits against him. Arenado drives one high and deep left field. This one's got a chance. Say goodbye. 2-run home run, Nolan Arenado, and the Rockies take a 2-0 lead early. Just like that.
I'm going to go ahead and extend the hit streak to 15 games.
That could not have been diagrammed any better for Walt Weiss than what you just witnessed.
The 11th home run given up to a right-handed batter by Madison. And Nolan, doesn't matter what type of pitch in the month of June. I like Madison's reaction. That was a curveball. I mean, he's hit him on fastballs. He's hit him on splitters, sliders, curveballs. Just an impressive display from that young man.
Just the 5th hit. The one guy that had struggled. Cargo has a base hit up the middle. I'm going to say just the 5th hit Nolan's ever had against Bumgarner. If there was one guy in the lineup that maybe had struggled a little bit, actually there were 2 guys. It was Arenado, who was 4 for 20 against Bumgarner, and it was DJ, who came in 2 for 20 against Bumgarner. Both of those guys got hits. Cargo continues to hit him. For Gonzalez, he is now 15 for 41 with the 5 jacks that Huey mentioned against Bumgarner.
And that's why he's out there, and he beat the shift with that last swing. They had him swung over. I said, okay, I'll take it the other way.
Here's Lillian, and he takes a big hat. And Rosario's another one of those guys. He's hitting .332 lifetime, and it's not, folks, this isn't like 6 at-bats. He's 10 for 31 lifetime against Bumgarner. This goes back to a statement we've made on several occasions this weekend. The Giants, for all their greatness, 3 rings in the last 5 years, bring out the best in the Rockies.
You needed this first inning after what happened yesterday. You put on some runs on the board, you had a late lead, and you gave it up.
And a twisted double play to end the inning. But in the first, a base hit by LeMahieu and another long ball from Nolan Arenado. His 23rd of the year, his 14th out on the road, which ties Nelson Cruz and Giancarlo Stanton for most road home runs in baseball. Nothing start yesterday. They led 3-0 after the top of the first inning. Kyle Kendrick is on the mound for the Rockies. That is Angel Pagan, returned to the lineup yesterday after suffering a knee injury a couple days ago that they thought would keep him out much longer. Bruce Bochy's lineup is brought to you as well by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Joe Panik will bat second. Matt Duffy's been hot. He has a home run among 4 hits in this series. Buster Posey has been driving in a lot of runs. Brandon Belt owns a home run against Kyle Kendrick this year. Then Brandon Crawford, Gregor Blanco, Justin Maxwell, and one of the best hitting pitchers in the game, Madison Bumgarner.
Well, 16th start for Kyle Kendrick. In his first 6 starts, pretty high ERA at 8.73, but his last 9, he's dropped it down during those games. Now it's 4.37 during the last 9 games, a 2.57 batting average against. He's also pitched well at AT&T Park. 2 starts, 1-0 with a 2.81.
John had a base hit yesterday.
So as I mentioned, it's just about keeping the ball in the ballpark for Kyle. He gave up 3 home runs in his last start. Now 2 of them were solos. And the other one was a 2-run shot.
Yeah, 13 of the home runs at Coors Field, 8 out on the road, but it is an extremely high number. Here's the 1-1. And Pagan rolls over to second. DJ gets a nice hop, 1 out. Well, the Rockies defense let them down a little bit yesterday. They had that 5-out inning in the middle of the game, and that's when the Giants caught the Rockies. It's Eno in left, Barnes playing center, Carr goes in right, Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Rosario in the infield. Again, Nick Hundley behind the plate. Nick had yesterday off. Mike McHenry did the catching. Joe Panic at the plate. Rockies carried a 5-3 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. It was just the second time this year that the Giants in 30 games overcame a 6th inning deficit to win. This ball's in the air to left field. Noah goes near the line and makes the catch.
Nice jump for it. And Noah on that baseball.
Been pretty impressed with his routes to the ball. And listen, he's a good athlete. He's handled the outfield well for a guy that has not had many reps out there.
I see him every day. So they come out, they'll go out, do their stretching, and Rafi will have both gloves. He'll have his outfielder's glove and his infielder's glove. And he's doing work out in the outfield first, and he'll move to the infield. So he puts in the time and the effort to get better.
Good-looking young hitter in Matt Duffy. 294 overall, and Matt takes a pitch down low. Home plate umpire this afternoon is Greg Gibson. Chris Siegel is at first, Marvin Hudson at second, Sam Holbrook is at third. Duffy's hitting .323 against right-handed pitching in this his rookie year, and there's a strike.
It says he's 6'2", 170 pounds.
He generates some pop for a kid that'll probably fill out a little bit.
Just 24 years of age.
He's a college sign. Again, he went to school at Long Beach State. How many left side infielders have they cranked out over the last decade?
Seems like every other year there's somebody you're talking about that's in the big leagues.
Started with Bobby Crosby, and then Tulo was next, and then Longoria. This ball's well hit toward right center field. That's Triple's alley, and it'll bounce off the 421 sign, and it'll be an easy triple for Matt Duffy. And it is fortunate that we're at AT&T, because if he hit that ball in any other stadium, it's a home run.
He crushed it that way for his 3rd triple of the season. You can call it Triple's alley because of this mark right there, 421. Set up away, ball came back to middle. It wasn't middle away, it's just middle, and he took it out to the warning track. This is just cruising into 3rd. There's no extra effort. Don't have to kick it into another gear.
So here's Buster Posey, 11 home runs, 50 driven in. He's driven in 9 runs in his last 4 games. And he takes a strike.
23 RBIs in the month of June.
Posey 6 for 12 lifetime against Kendrick. So he has great numbers against Kyle. Here's the 0-1. And that's a strike. It's 0-2. Nine ribbies, as I said, the last 4 games, 14 ribbies, and a couple of home runs the last 8 games. He drove in a couple yesterday.
We had that deep drive to center field. It was a fan interference. But because the runners are so far along that it's the umpire's discretion that they scored.
In a perfect world, he never would have come up in the inning. The Rockies had a miscue by Rosario on a fairly routine ground ball, and then Tulo on what should have been a 6-4-3 bobbled it for a moment and got just the force out. That is going to work for Posey. Kind of a check swing single to right, and A 2-out ribby for Buster Posey, and it's 2-1.
Sometimes this happens. You make a good pitch, the hitter just pokes his bat at the ball, and he finds a hole. That was not even a, quarter swing. Looks like when you're just messing around out in the backyard and kid throws one, you just try to hit it.
Brandon Belt at the plate. Rockies put the shift on, and Belt fouls it off. Now those always sting a little bit more. 2-out runs. Got the first two guys quickly, then the booming triple by Duffy. He got ahead of Posey, and he kind of just blocked one through an opening on the right side.
Posey's now hitting .419 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and his 51st RBI.
We get to see him play a lot. We get to see Paul Goldschmidt play a lot, not to mention Tulowitzki and Arenado. Talking about great right-handed hitters. One of the things that they all seem to have in common is great balance at the plate. I mean, I think of Goldschmidt and Posey, and there's not a lot of wasted movement.
You cannot hit if you don't have balance and you're not out on your front side. I mean, you have to have a good base to hit. And even though Buster was fooled and it was a quarter swing, just a block to right, he still had the barrel in the zone a long time because of where he was in his swing.
3-2, so Posey will be off. Hopefully Brandon Crawford's leading off the second inning. This is going to drift in a foul ground, and is caught there by Arenado. Nice play by Nolan. A lot of wind naturally up there at AT&T. So a Duffy triple and a single by Buster Posey, and it's 2-1 as we go to the second.
throughout this half inning: Nick Hundley, Brandon Barnes, and Kyle Kendrick. Speaking of Brandon Barnes, we know what a spark plug he's been for the Colorado Rockies since joining the team on May 20th. When in the starting lineup, this team is 17-14. He started the season in the minor leagues, and that's something he is used to because he spent 8 seasons in the minor leagues before making his major league debut in 2012 with the Houston Astros. A teammate of him, Justin Maxwell, who now plays for the San Francisco Giants, said he knows Barnes appreciates every day he's on a big league field.
You can just tell how much he was grateful for it. You know, all the hard work and the passion that he has for the game, and for that to all come to fruition and get a chance in the big leagues. You can see why he plays the way he does, because he knows what it's like to go through, you know, the long road to make it to the big leagues, so he appreciates every moment.
And Drew, Jeff, we know what a hard beginning the season was for Brandon Barnes to have to go to AAA and go back to that place that he hadn't been since he made his debut in 2012. But at the same time, we know exactly what he did for this team, and he kept his spirits alive, and he kept that energy alive. And even when he's not in the lineup, he's such a big part of this roster, and what kind of energy he gives to other guys and how they perform.
Do you know what, Jenny? It's a marvelous point, because his enthusiasm and his energy, as you state, is truly infectious. And Jeff, you played with some guys, I'm sure, like that. You probably also played with some guys that you felt like it wasn't fully genuine. With Brandon Barnes, it is genuine, and his teammates truly, to a man, adore him.
And why wouldn't they? Because of, one, he can play the game. I think that's first and foremost. You would like to say, yeah, everybody needs to be this way, but Brandon can play the game, and he also has that high energy. See the strikeout from Madison on the slider. But for me, I always had, you have to have a teammate or two like that on your team. I think for the Rockies, it's Brandon and also Nolan. When they're not smiling and bouncing around and, you know, pushing and shoving like good buddies do, then you miss something.
You know, I'll go back with the Rockies' 2 best seasons were 07 and 09, as Rockies fans all know, as Barnes steps up here. That guy for me, and he did it in a slightly different way than Barnes does, was Yorvi Torrealba. He played with an edge. He played with a moxie. He played with a flair and a smile on his face, and he was loved by his teammates. And it was, again, with all due respect to Chris Iannetta, who was always the starter until basically the last 6 weeks of the season, and then Torrealba in 07 and 09 would take over and play throughout the postseason. To me, it was not a coincidence.
Kind of will you to win on those days that you might not have had everything.
That's right. Remember him getting in Matt Kemp's face at home plate?
Yes. I mean, there was no backing down. There was no, okay, it's okay, you're the Dodgers, we'll let you just be.
Yep.
There was none of that.
1-2 on Brandon. Barnes 5 for 19 against Madison Bumgarner. And that is career strikeout number 1,000 from Madison Bumgarner. And Buster Posey knew it immediately because he took that baseball out of play as soon as he caught it, flipped it to the umpire. Now it's being announced to the crowd, and they'll give him a standing ovation. A deserved one.
And the youngest Giant ever, as far as chronological age, to have 1,000 strikeouts.
One of those focused guys. I mean, he's appreciative of the ovation, but he wants to get back to the business of pitching, and so he steps right back on the rubber and throws a ball to Kyle Kendrick.
Just typical Bumgarner fashion. Went with the high fastball, which is getting more strikeouts.
Kyle Kendrick takes a quality swing, hits it in the air to center field. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Madison Bumgarner. Middle of 2, the Rockies on a 2-run home run from Nolan Arenado, leading the Giants 2-1. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Let's go places. By Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. 2-1. The Rockies leading the Giants. It is a busy, busy day in San Francisco. And tomorrow we'll be across the bay, playing at the Coliseum as the Rockies take on the A's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoon. It's been a busy day in San Francisco. It is Pride Day, 45th annual Pride Parade. Over 1 million people expected to be participating as we speak right now in downtown San Francisco. Tough to move around town today.
Yeah, you have the 2 baseball games down in Sonoma. You have the NASCAR race.
A lot going on.
The Deadhead concerts.
Which Dougie survived. He's here.
He survived. He's here.
I think
he's got one more night.
He has tonight also. He made it. He went straight from Levi Stadium to AT&T Park.
It's a Deadhead. It's
a
Grateful
valiant
Dead.
effort.
Grateful Dead, but of which Dougie's a Deadhead.
How many Deadhead shows? How many Dead shows? Over 100. You should get like a gold watch when you. Don't you get like a special tie-dye shirt when you hit 100? Brandon Crawford at the plate. 1-0 on Crawford. Only 2 left-handers other than Madison Bumgarner have produced 1,000 strikeouts in a Giant uniform. Mike McCormick, who was a real solid pitcher in the 70s for the Giants, and the Hall of Famer Carl Hubble.
Hold the stump. He goes over there for a ball. He can fall down and get hurt.
It was just the 13th Giant in their history to have over 1,000 strikeouts.
Giants have had, as long as they've been around, they've had some all-timers, haven't they? Three guys in the 500 home run club.
4 of those.
And they're not far off the Yankees. They run out of room to put all the retired numbers up. My favorite will always be 24.
Statue right out in front. Took a picture of that a couple days ago.
Yep. Willie well into his 80s now. Used to be, and I don't know if he's around as much, but he used to be a fixture every day in the clubhouse. He'd be playing cards in the room right off the clubhouse. Guys would come in and visit with Willie.
Stretch was here yesterday, Willie McCovey.
I know your boys ran into him.
Yeah, they ran into him downstairs. That was pretty neat. So did I.
Swung on and missed, and a strikeout of Crawford. First strikeout for Kyle. Gregor Blanco coming up. Rockies fans, join in on the conversation. You know the drill. Send us thoughts, photos. Use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Blanco has hit well of late. 4 multi-hit games in his last 5, has the average at .303. They figured their starting outfield would be Pagan in the middle, Hunter Pence naturally in right, and the acquisition in the offseason, Nori Aoki in left field. Aoki has a broken leg, Pence has a wrist injury. They're both down, and Pagan was down on Friday with a knee situation. This is pulled under the glove of Rosario. Kendrick broke, which you have to do on any ground ball to the right side. And fortunately, DJ was right there to pick up Willeen.
This is a couple days in a row that Willeen just didn't get that backhand down.
Well,
so we'll
you've taught infielders you got to work ground up, and I don't think he did there, did he?
No, and I said yesterday, he's getting better. I mean, it's night and day from spring training of what he's doing. He was out there today at 11 o'clock working on it. Now, is he Gold Glove? No, that's not what I'm saying, but he's gotten better at his craft. but there's still the little things at playing first base that are different, that sometimes is there, sometimes it's not.
Justin Maxwell takes a fastball that tails back on the outside corner for a strike. Let's take a look again at Willian's approach on that ground ball.
So he starts to move after it, and then just kind of got his feet locked up. He was in between. Do I get over in front of it, or just do I go ahead and backhand it and then make the small flip?
2 balls and a strike on Maxwell. Maxwell's a product of the University of Maryland. Turned down an opportunity to play at Harvard. He wanted to play at a bigger school in the ACC.
The national championship this year out of the ACC. Virginia.
First time ever Virginia captured a national title, beat Vanderbilt. This ball lined toward Cargo in right. He'll come on and make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Kendrick. Rockies leading 2-1 as we go to the third on a Sunday afternoon in San Francisco. One and two for the Rockies. Rafael Inoa hitting that 9 spot. I don't know if you caught this, but last October, Madison Bumgarner was really good. He threw 2 complete games, and then they needed him for 5 innings in Game 7, and he did pretty well in that role also, picking off a save as Madison Bumgarner came out of the bullpen in Game 7.
I just remember watching him stroll out. And you just had this feeling that this is over. The way he's been pitching, it's over.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody, listen, we see him all the time, and he is the horse of horses, right?
Yeah.
But how many people thought, all right, he'll give him 3 probably high-quality innings, then they'll have to flip it over to their back end of the bullpen. He was middle relief, the setup guy, and the closer all in one, 48 hours after he threw over 100 pitches. There was a great story in the Chronicle this morning. 0-2 on Raffy. And he goes down. And complete the play at first. It was a story about Tim Flannery, who is an eclectic guy, a wonderful. He was a good player, and he's been a terrific coach. He's been one of Bruce Bochy's right-hand guys, and he's also a terrific musician, which is another part of the story, and he's now gone into broadcasting. He stepped away from coaching this past season. Well, he was telling a story about being in Kansas City, and the fans behind their dugout were wearing them out, saying, "Oh, we want Bumgarner, we want Bumgarner," right? And
careful what you wish for.
Exactly. So, Flannery, because Tim has a great personality, he was joking back and forth with it, but he never said much. Well, they get to Game 7, and when the door opened, he said with some colorful language, he said, "You got him now." And I'm cleaning it up quite a bit.
Yes.
He turned to him and he said, "You got him now." And boy, did they ever get him.
He was the hammer and the nail for that 7th game. With the final nail in the Kansas City's hopes.
It was as close as I think we as baseball fans have ever witnessed to one man truly capturing a World Series. I mean, it's a team game. I understand that. But if you look at some of the offensive numbers of their key guys and you look at the rest of the rotation and so on, it was pretty darn close.
We had 2 wins and a save. A 5-inning save. Which to me, I think it could have been a 5-inning win. Because they gave it to Jeremy Affeldt, who had come in relief early in that game.
Yeah. When the second run was scored,
right.
The go-ahead run. 2 on DJ, who had a single his first time up. Country kid from North Carolina, Madison Bumgarner. Three and 2 on LeMahieu. Talking hoops with LeMahieu this morning in the clubhouse. DJ was a very good high school basketball player. Played little 2, little 3.
He usually likes to talk hockey.
Yeah, he played hockey through middle school. And he's a good hockey player also. He's just a good athlete. So Spilly, I was kidding Spilly about this because remember the other day, DJ, who's 6'4", made that leaping catch at home on the line drive.
Yes.
And Spilly said, "Man, I got to ask him. I wonder if he can dunk." I'm like, "Spilly, he's 6'4", he's an athlete. You don't think he can dunk? Come on, no doubt." And so I was kidding Spilly and DJ about that today. And DJ, yeah, he dunks easily, 2 hands. And he said the guy, that's ball 4, he goes, the guy that's really impressive is Charlie Blackman. He said Charlie can really get up, and if he can do, behind his back, behind his head.
behind his back would be
really
impressive,
special.
okay?
But
that'd be real special.
Do a mini Dominique.
Is Spilly just mad because he couldn't do it? Hi, Spilly, we're talking about you. And seeing that, we have to give a shout out to Jerry Schimmel.
Oh my goodness.
Because he finished his ride early this morning out in Maryland. Over 3,000 miles in 7 days. Over 7 days.
Jerry, I've always had the utmost respect for Shemmy, and I cannot believe, and I'm telling him he's scheduled to work tomorrow. Jerry, I know you're not listening, but if somebody is listening who can get a hold to him, stay right where you are in Maryland. Do nothing but bed rest for the next couple of days, other than eating and getting fluids back in your system.
So in case you don't know.
Unbelievable what he pulled off with his partner.
Yeah, they had a race across America from Oceanside, California to Annapolis, Maryland. They left a week ago Saturday at noon. Arrived in Annapolis at 7:14 Eastern time this morning. They covered 3,004 miles in 7 days, 14 hours, and 55 minutes. And the support crew that had to help them.
And Clay Paulo, our coordinating producers. Clay, who's an avid cyclist, was one of the guys heading up the support crew. And I tell you what, I'm blown away by it. And they were dealing with all kinds of issues, just physical issues. I mean, I cannot imagine how grueling that was. So, Jerry, congratulations. Take your time. Get back. 1 and 2 on Troy. And this ball lined to center field. So Tulowitzki keeps his hitting streak alive, and the Rockies have 2 men on with 1 out against Bumgarner, and here comes Nolan again.
That's a 12-game hitting streak for Troy.
And here's what Arenado did in the first frame against Matt Bum.
He said, I'll take your curveball and I'll do you one better. I'll hit it out. And for Nolan, it's the 3rd curveball that he's hit out in this month of June.
He has 14 road home runs. Mentioned that is tied for the most in baseball with Nelson Cruz and Giancarlo Stanton. Last year, he had only 2 road home runs of his 18.
And this is what he has done, and the number of pitches that he has hit out. I said 3 curveballs because that was coming into today, so we need to add one to that graphic, but that was the one that was down and in. So it doesn't matter if it's a high fastball, he can get on top of that, sinker that didn't sink, splitter, you name it, he'll hit it, and he'll hit it far.
Foul ground. This is playable for Bell. 2 outs. That'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo with a base hit his first time against Bumgarner. Who wants tacos? If the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Moss at Taco Bell. They had the shift on the first time, but with LeMahieu at second right now, Crawford is playing a more traditional shortstop spot.
It's almost where he was playing last night when Cargo hit the ball up the middle to end the game, or yesterday afternoon.
He's fouled off, and it's going to get into the crowd, fortunately, 0-1. Yeah, he hit that ball.
I thought it was a base hit when it first was off the bat, and then you look, and well, that's where Crawford was.
You know, it's interesting when you look at Cargo and the number of home runs, the guys he's victimized the most. The top 2 on the list are left-handed pitchers, of which one is Madison Bumgarner. You wouldn't think that. That's a pitch you have to spit on if you're going to hit Bumgarner. That slider he took off the plate. He's gotten Ted Lilly 5 times also.
And it goes to the right-handers.
Got some big names on that list, huh?
I mean, Dan Herron, Matt Garza, Zach Greinke was throwing today down in Miami against the Marlins. He was leading 2-0 last time I checked in the 7th. They won that game. The Dodgers did 2-0.
For whatever reason, and this guy is nasty, and the arm angle left on left. Most teams, again, they don't even send a left-handed bat up against him because it's not worth it. But Cargo sees him pretty well.
Sometimes you don't have an explanation for why. But one of the home runs that he did have against Madison Bumgarner was last year, April. Yep, that's a splashdown.
Here it is a 2-2 count with 2 outs. LeMahieu walked, he's at second. Tulowitzki a base hit at first. Rockies up 2-1. Not this time. That is strikeout number 4 for Madison Bumgarner. seminar on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon in the city by the bay. Log on to CFD Rodeo /Keith Urban for your opportunity to win tickets to see Keith Urban in concert on Saturday, July 25th at Cheyenne Frontier Days, summer's largest country music festival. Go out there, take a nap, huh, Huey?
Yeah, probably not. Because of the waves.
Yeah, the way that's banked right now, I don't know how well I would sleep. Madison Bumgarner pulls it through the hole, a base hit. Well, he's one of the best hitting pitchers in baseball. A year ago, he had 4 home runs, including a couple of grand slams.
One of those grand slams against Colorado. Has a home run this year off of Clayton Kershaw. I mean, it's no joke. He can hit. There's a leg kick. Pulled it in the hole. Troy lays out for the baseball, but it was by him.
Pagan bounced to second his first time. That's inside. Angel 12 for his last 62 at the plate. And this is lifted to shallow center field. Brandon Barnes will make the catch. 1 out. With every challenge called, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. One with 1 gone, and Bumgarner at first. Joe Panic will step up. He had a fly ball to left field his first time. Panic leading all National League second baseman in on-base percentage at .380.
Second in the major leagues as far as hits by a guy hitting in the 2-hole. Mike Moustakas of Kansas City has 84 to Panic's 81. Josh Donaldson having a great year for Toronto.
That play he made the other day.
Oh, that saved the perfect game for another out.
Yeah, with Estrada on the mound. I thought you put a little grouping together of second-year players and what they're hitting. Joe Panic, .310 entering play today, has the best average of all second-year players. 2-0 pitches popped up. Tulowitzki could see it. Nolan, I don't think, could see it.
He didn't at first because he dropped about as low as you can to the ground without being on the ground to try to pick up the ball. It's what you're taught as an infielder, to try to get off to the side. But watch Nolan. He's looking, throws the glasses down, and then he starts bending and says, "Thank you for helping me out, Troy," because that would have been a more difficult play, and Troy didn't have to as much sun to battle with as Nolan did.
2 outs. Matt Duffy, who tripled to Triple's alley in right center, takes a strike, and he would come around on a Buster Posey check swing base hit through the right side with 2 outs in the first. That's how the Giants produced their only run. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Rockies, a run on 3 knocks for San Francisco. Bottom of 3. Kendrick, when he's going well, will get a lot of mishit ground balls.
He's still throwing the cutter along with the fastball, split, and the curveball.
0-2. Tough play. Fair ball as it goes past Rosario off the end of the bat. Bumgarner will stop at third. Cargo went over in the Rockies bullpen area to make the play. So here we go again. Buster Posey coming up with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
And I think that Ryan Jones will take a couple looks at this to see if it might be a play that's going to be reviewed. I know it hits in foul territory, but as long as it goes over the bag fair after it hits in fair territory, then it would be a fair ball. But not anything that Willeen can do. He's signaling for as it's a foul ball, but tough to tell from that angle where it crossed on the bag.
Posey,
from that angle, that's all you can do is you just let it stand.
Posey's 13 for 31 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, and he got a changeup, and he was way out in front. It's 0-1. It's about the last guy you wanted to see up in this situation. Rockies nursing a 1-run lead. Bumgarner at third, Duffy at second.
And that was the pitch that you hope he would fish for.
Well, I was just going to say, the thing about guys that hit 300 plus, great hitters, Buster Posey is in that group, is they don't get themselves out much. They hit strikes. And if you're wondering, with first base open, would Kendrick be wise to put him on base? The problem is you have a left-handed bat behind him and a good one in Brandon Belt.
And left-handers are hitting .306 against Kendrick.
That was a good cutter. Ribbies by a catcher this year. And it's a little misleading because Posey plays a lot of first base also. Derek Norris is a true catcher. Wilson Ramos with Washington, a true catcher. Hundley, obviously, Grandal.
That's 4 of the top 5 in the National League West.
Posey has 16 starts at first base. So, 20% of the time, he's over on the right corner. What pitch do you like here? 3-2.
I like the slider or the cutter going away from Posey. Because if you try to come back in with the sinker and it doesn't get in far enough, it's an easier pitch for him to hit.
Now Nick goes to the outer edge, and that ball is left up. It's a base hit. It's going to score 2.
Well, it was a slider, but it wasn't located.
Nope, wasn't located, and it's 3-2 San Francisco. Buster Posey has driven in all 3, and all 3 have come with 2 outs.
Buster takes a hanging slider and hits it to left field. Now, he wanted it down, but look at where this pitch is. Belt high by the time it crosses the plate. And Buster Posey doesn't need any extra help, but he got it.
Yeah, where that pitch is located, he's fortunate it didn't end up in the seats.
Right, he just got too much top hand over the on the swing. Right pitch called, wrong execution.
And the Rockies again started quickly against the Giants, and now they have a deficit. The same thing happened yesterday, 3-0 and 5-3 leads evaporated. Eventually, it was a 7-5 Rockies loss. You know, when you're facing a guy like Madison Bumgarner, you're going to have to be extra special that day, because typically he's not going to give up many runs. Rockies got 2 quick ones against him. Now it's 3-2 Giants in the third. Center field, Barnes started back, and he's going to come in, and he'll have time. He'll make the catch to end the inning. The base hit by Bumgarner, a 2-out double by Duffy, and then the 2-run single by Posey. 3-2 Giants. All I want for my birthday is a splash hit, huh? Breaking ball dropped on the outside corner on Willeen Rosario, leading off here in the 4th inning. Willeen grounded into a 5-4-3 double play to end the 1st inning. And this is going to be a tough play if it stays fair, and it will. As it went past the bag, Duffy decided, well, you know what, I'm not going to throw him out, so I'm going to let it go. So an infield single leading off the 4th for Willeen.
And that is 2 balls in these 3-game set that have stayed fair, that they haven't gone foul. 1 for the Rockies, 1 against them. This one was for Willeen and the base hit. Now, there's not much grass between where the grass is and the foul line. Most places, there'll be an extra probably 3 or 4 inches. But here, this one stays on the grass, then it slides past the bag.
Nick Hundley at the plate. Nick struck out his first time. And that's inside, ball 1.
I'll go back play that play for a moment. As an infielder, when you come to a place that doesn't have as much, or the dimensions are changed right by the line, you'll roll balls down that line to see, do they go foul, do they stay fair? Just little tricks so you know if I have to try to make a play.
Back up the middle, knocked down by Bumgarner. He still has time to get Rosario at second. Giant pitchers have either fielded well in this series or inadvertently done something to prevent a hit, and Tim Lincecum inadvertently Obviously, he didn't want to get hit by the ball yesterday on the forearm, which he did. That saved a run when LeMahieu hit a line drive up the middle, and then you had the backhand stab by Petit yesterday to save a single. And now that play by Madison Bumgarner.
Well, and then to have the thought to go to second base. Most pitchers don't like to do that. Once they bobble it, they'll just they start to panic and they'll get the out at first. He didn't worry about it. Made a strong throw to second.
Brandon Barnes at the plate. Barnes strike out his first time up.
Over.
This should be 2 again, and it will be. Second double play turned by the Giants this afternoon. Middle of 4, the Giants leading the Rockies 3-2.
Bottom of the 4th. Well, the familiar sounds here at AT&T Park come from the one and only Rennell Brooks-Moon. She is the only female PA announcer in Major League Baseball, and it's a job that she takes very serious.
I've just been overwhelmed by the support that I've gotten, and over the years, I've had a lot of elder gentlemen actually come up to me and say, "I wasn't so sure about you, young lady, but you hooked me in." And that's awesome.
I was so honored to get the chance to interview her yesterday. We showed that interview in its entirety during the Rockies pregame report, but she is so full of energy, Drew and Jeff. I know you've probably had the chance to interact with her up there in the press box. She is a ball of energy, and she also happens to be a morning radio show host. So for night games here, she has to end up waking up at 4 in the morning, getting everything together for her show. But she loves what she does. And I asked her if she was living a dream, and she said, "I am, and it's a dream that I never even knew existed." She grew up right across the bay in Oakland, California, and now she gets to come to the ballpark every single day to root on her hometown San Francisco Giants. Pretty cool story.
It's a really cool story, and I'll tell you what, she is outstanding, and she's become an institution here in San Francisco, and you get very familiar doing what we do for a living with the PA announcers in each ballpark, and she is one of the game's best announcers. And it would sound strange, honestly, right, Jeff? If we were here and we didn't hear her voice.
It would. At first, like you said, it was a little different because you hadn't heard that before. But now And you could just see the smile on her face a moment ago. She didn't even know she's on camera. She's just laughing and smiling. But those are the people that we have the privilege to interact with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think it's neat, too, where she's positioned because fans get to interact with her. You guys see fans walk in front of your broadcast booth all the time, but fans will come up now and have full conversations with her about the game, about the team. And, you know, like she said, that one gentleman came up to tell her that a backhanded compliment in a way that I just wasn't quite sure about you. But she loves that. She loves that energy that the fans bring back to her, and she is always in orange. That is a staple color on her as well. And, you know, it was funny. She was telling me a story about when they went to get their rings in Washington, D.C., when the Giants went to meet President Obama. She got to go, and she happened to break her foot when she went the first time in 2012. So she was sitting in a wheelchair, and she said it actually allowed her that extra time with the President of the United States. And he came up to her specifically since she couldn't walk up there and shake his hand. And, you know, he goes, I just love hearing your voice. And she said, the President's heard my voice in a game. So it's really cool. She's had a lot of great opportunities and opened up a lot of doors for a lot of women in not only in what we do in baseball, but just in broadcasting and taking her game to the next level and being completely in a man's world. It's pretty neat.
Yep, she's been a pioneer of sorts. President Obama has seen the Giants rather frequently.
Do they keep giving him new jerseys each time? Or do they just say, use the one from a couple years ago?
Yeah, I wonder. That's a good question. 3-2 on Brandon Crawford, and it's fouled off. Just think, a president, President Bush served 2 terms, President Obama obviously serving 2 terms, and all of the teams that go to the White House. Oh, good pitch by Kendrick to strike out Crawford for the second time. I would assume that they go in the presidential library museum.
Number 7, Gregor
President Clinton served 2 terms, so I guess all those jerseys and memorabilia, they got to go somewhere.
Take them home with you. There is something special about meeting the president. I was fortunate to meet 3 of them while I was playing, and there's a certain amount of respect and awe that you have of that person and the job that they have to do.
Well, this is fouled off by Blanco. Before Governor Bush became President Bush, he owned the Texas Rangers when you were playing for them.
I used to work out in the workout room at the stadium.
And you probably called him either Mr. Bush or George at the time.
I called him George.
Yeah, and I had the privilege of meeting President Bush when he was governor at a basketball game, I think at the University of Texas, I believe. Anyhow, the point being, he very approachable guy, and so it doesn't surprise me. But my next question is, when you met him as president, you had then had to change from you didn't call him George any longer,
yeah, I
right?
couldn't call him just George. He's a little Mr. President.
1-1 on Blanco. That's low. 2-1.
President Clinton came down when Cal was going through the streak and breaking the streak of the Iron Man Lou Gehrig, and he came through the clubhouse.
Was he there that night?
Yes, he was there that night. We had to go through the whole metal detector, the whole 9 yards.
You just don't want the dog to sit in front of your locker. This 2-1 is hit well to right. Fargo moves back, and he'll make the play.
Right fielder, number 43, Justin Maxwell.
2 outs, and Justin Maxwell will come up. Maxwell just 1 for his last 16 at the plate. Got off to a pretty hot start. Had some important hits in the month of April for the Giants. Speaking of presidents, Justin Maxwell's dad was the longtime presidential dentist. And I asked Justin about that earlier. He's very close with President Bush, in fact. In fact, part of the story is President Bush would always ask Dr. Maxwell about how Justin was doing, because obviously President Bush, their family, baseball is very close to their hearts, and so Justin and President Bush have a relationship.
The relationship with baseball goes back a long time, and for presidents, throwing out the first pitch. William Howard Taft was the first president to throw out a ceremonial first pitch.
Very famous photo. 3-0 pitches in there, 3-1. Justin decided not to go into the family business of dentistry. He made a pretty good decision.
Yes, he did. Yes, he has.
I think some of the concerts starting to kick in on Dougie. The Dead concert last night. He just wrote me a note. Did he make Washington's wooden teeth? Swung on and missed. No, Doug. Dr. Maxwell was not around. Wasn't born yet when Washington was president. Meet the Press will continue after this. 3-2 Giants. Head-turning and heart-pounding Ford Go Further by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. An aerial view of AT&T Park. Another sellout. The Rockies and Giants playing another tight game. Nothing better than Rockies baseball on Root Sports on a Sunday afternoon here in Virginia. Well, welcome. For the shout-out, Troy. Fastball's high, ball one on Kyle Kendrick, 8-9-1. Walt Weiss, as you know, occasionally will do this, hit his pitcher eighth, and he'll do it against left-handed pitching when he does it. So it's Kendrick, then Noah at the top of the order, DJ LeMahieu. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kyle hit the ball well to center field his first time up. Ball caught by Pagan. Strike. Bumgarner in his last 3 starts has fashioned a 1.93 ERA, but the Giants have lost each of his last 3 outings. That stays fair. It won't. I was going to say that'll be an infield hit also.
Well, and also in those 3 games, he had 30 strikeouts in 23 and a third inning. So he was doing everything he could. It was just the lack of run support. Giving up just 5 earned runs total.
And again, this is the first time he's facing the Rockies this year. Last year in 5 starts, he went 2-1 against the Rockies. Career-wise, 9-6 with a 3.13 ERA.
Just hides the ball so well with this high leg kick, and drops the arm behind his back. You lose sight of it for a moment. Just watch how high this leg comes up, and then the hand will drop out of the glove, and then it explodes on you.
Strikeout to Kendrick. That is number 5 for Bumgarner.
Individual game day suites and party facilities are still available for the regular season. Call 303 Rockies to check availability today.
Rockies have beaten Bumgarner only 1 time at AT&T. In 9 starts in San Francisco, Madison's 5-1 with a 2.11 against the Rockies here. Raffy struck out his first time. And that's going to be an easy play for Crawford. DJ's been on twice, a single and a walk. Came home in the first inning on the 2-run home run by Nolan Arenado. Nolan's 23rd of the year. Stu Cole working the coaching lines at third.
Nothing else, this buys Kyle a few more minutes in the dugout after the quick out by Anoa. Towel off, grab a sip of water.
Two and one on LeMahieu. It's 3-1 on DJ. Rockies have the 3 longest hitting streaks currently active in the National League. Arenado with the home run now at 15 games. Tulowitzki's on deck, a base hit his last time at 12 games. Blackman not playing at 11. DJ takes a strike. It's 3-2.
Jason Kipnis had his hit streak ended
at 20 games yesterday. Here's Charlie. It's not only a day of rest physically, it's a day of rest mentally. On the ground to Crawford. 1-2-3, 5th inning for Bumgarner. The Giants lead 3-2. Madison Bumgarner in the top of the first, a 2-run home run from Nolan Arenado, 23rd of the year. Bumgarner has surpassed the 1,000 career strikeout mark. And Buster Posey has all 3 ribbies for the Giants, and all 3 have been driven in with 2 outs. Bumgarner started the 2-run rally in the 3rd with a base hit through the left side. And I'm looking at Troy. He has taken 2 steps toward that 5.5 hole with Bumgarner up. And Bumgarner takes a big middle-of-the-order cut. Doesn't find any baseball. It's 0-1.
And that's not following a scouting report. That's following your gut. After he hit one in the hole, you don't need to look in and say, you want me to scoot over? I played this game long enough. I know where I want to go. Just knowing the swing of Madison.
You know, and you have a guy that throws, 88, 89, which by major league standards is a below average fastball velocity-wise. Balls and a strike on Bumgarner. Big, strong man, 6'5" and about 240 pounds.
He's swinging for the fence. He's landing on his heels.
Well, he'll pinch
back leg.
Yeah, I mean, he'll pinch hit occasionally for Bruce Bochy. Last year wasn't just the fact that he hit 4 home runs. Last year at the plate, he hit over 260. At 262, he drove in 15. 3-2.
It looks like Michael Moore standing at the plate. Just how big he is.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that they could change on him, and that'd be to hit left-handed so he didn't have his left elbow exposed. I know he's got the pad on the left elbow.
And that is right where Tulowitzki's position. Had he been where he was the first time up, that would have been another base hit. So it's a hard out. 1 gone in the 5th, and that'll bring up Pagan.
Fans take a behind-the-scenes tour of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets are available year-round. Call 303 Rockies to set up your tour.
Ground ball to second and a fly ball to center field off the bat of Pagan. Kyle won his last outing at home. First Coors Field victory for Kendrick. And that's a good pitch. And wow. Nolan just couldn't see it. Fortunately, it was in foul ground. Saw him battle in the sun earlier, and that's a shame because it's just a little flare that ordinarily is going to be as easy and out as you get.
You're hoping that the ball will go behind a cloud. That is what your hope is. You know you're in trouble when you flip down the glasses and you still can't find the ball. It was right up into the sun. I know people have been driving down C-470 either late at night or early in the morning, and then you get that sun glare. Now you try to pick up a baseball out of it.
It's a sick feeling for a fielder for 2 reasons. One, you always want to catch the ball. It's an easy play. The other thing is you're worried about getting hit with it.
And that went between his glove and his face. It went more by his elbow and didn't hit him in the face.
And That goes off the mask of Nick Hundley. Home plate umpire. It's kind of common practice. Greg Gibbs walks the ball out to Kendrick. Dust the plate off perhaps. Gives Nick a moment.
Also talk to Nick for a second to make sure everything's okay. And that's the danger area. That one off the chin. That is the one that they really worry about with the concussions.
2-2. And Manoah will make the play. 2 outs.
Now Nolan can breathe easier. Get that out. You go, okay. Yeah, you had to throw a few more pitches, but at least he's out and not on first.
Joe Panik is 0 for 2. A fly ball to Enoa and a pop to Tulowitzki. The 1-strike delivery. Sinking fastball. Too far inside. 1-1. Try to throw that hip side sinker. Kind of does what Chase Utley does before the pitch with the bat. It's fouled off out of play.
Chase just went on the DL a few days ago. It's been a year-long struggle, or a half-a-year-long struggle for him.
Yes, it has. Really for the entire Philly organization.
He just waggles the bat down low until he feels like the pitcher's getting close, and then he'll bring the bat up.
Keeps tension out of the hands and arms.
Each individual player is different. Jim Thome used to point the bat at the pitcher and kind of pull back on his sleeve. That's the way he did it. Rod Carew, he would lay the bat flat and kind of wiggle the fingers.
Foul tip held by Nick Hundley. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. And quietly, Kyle's retired 7 in a row. Pretty good. 3-2 Giants. by Buick. 5 expectation-shattering models. Experience the new Buick during the Buick Spring Sales event. By Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by GMC, precision matters. We go to the 6th inning. The Rockies trailing 3-2. Madison Bumgarner against Troy Tulowitzki, just fouled down that third base line. Troy, a ground ball to short, and a line shot up the middle for a base hit. Tulowitzki, a high school baseball, obviously, star, and also basketball star in the Bay Area. Troy averaged something like 25 and 10. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd take that.
Probably willed his way to 10-12 rebounds tonight, huh?
Maybe just wrestled it out of somebody's hand.
Probably. He didn't get it initially. He brings a certain intensity to the ballpark every single day. He's about one thing, being the greatest player he can be in everything he does.
But it's different from Nolan's. But they still bring the same intensity. It's just a different way.
And they have the same goal.
Yes.
I mean, they're not content being, hey, we're really good. It's not what drives it. That thing I've always respected about Troy is he's not afraid to say, you know, I remember years ago, he said, I want to be a Hall of Famer.
That's okay to have goals.
Yeah.
You have to have them.
And it's not self-centered. It's in the context of winning, because it drives him crazy, especially after tasting a lot of success from a team standpoint earlier in his career. These last few years have worn on him. Not only his inability to stay on the field, but the fact that, you know, the Rockies have not won.
He's candid.
Very candid.
Very candid with his answers. There's a piece about Nolan in the Denver Post today by Patrick Saunders. It was a good piece.
Very good piece.
Just talking about the same thing. He's very candid in his answers. The go-to guy with the media.
And I think that certainly we in the media appreciate that. Broadcasters appreciate that. I think the fans at home appreciate the honesty. And not just falling back on sports cliches. Always saying, you know, the politically correct thing. You know, crowd giving Troy a hard time. He is one of the more deliberate hitters in baseball. Now here we go, 2-2. And he went. That is strikeout number 6 for Bumgarner. That'll bring up Arenado. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Nolan has a hit and a run scored in 12 straight games, which is a new Rockies record. The previous record was held by the Rockies' first base coach back in '95, Ewok. And this ball lined to deep left field, and it is caught out there by Blanco.
What a catch.
The only way he makes that play is basically playing with his back to the warning track. I mean, he was ridiculously deep.
You can't even see him on the camera shot. That's how deep he was playing, and it helps that he's left-handed. Because if he has to reach across his body to make this catch, he doesn't do it. Just like you're taught, run with your glove by your side, and then the last stride, reach out for it.
He literally was playing about 7 feet off the warning track. I mean, that was an absolute bullet.
Everything Nolan's hit's been over his head, so that was his only choice. He hurt his knee and his ankle, crashing into the wall.
0-1 on Cargo, 1 for 2. That was the one. He got a pitch out over the plate.
Well, Angel Pagan a few days back on Thursday, injured his knee running into the wall. And now for Blanco, knee, ankle.
And then he turned at the same time. It may have been a situation where he twisted it a little bit. Slider count, 0-2 on Cargo. Well, he got the fastball and he hits a towering fly ball to left. Blanco makes the catch, and that's 8 in a row set down by Bumgarner. Middle of 6th, the Giants lead 3-2. And take a picture of yourself at your favorite place to cheer on the Rockies and use the hashtag #WhereWeRoot. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Rockies had a 2-0 lead early on a 2-run home run by Nolan Arenado. Nothing since against Madison Bumgarner. And the Giants have put 3 on the board behind 2 key hits from Buster Posey to drive in all 3. A 2-out single in the first and a 2-out single to drive in a pair in the 3rd. It'll be Duffy, Posey, and Belt 3, 4, and 5 here in the 6th inning against Kyle Kendrick. Kyle's allowed the 3 runs on just 5 hits.
These 2 guys have 4 of the 5 hits. Matt Duffy with a triple and a double. And Posey with his 2 hits.
Got a slider that missed ball 1. Giants 20-20 at home. Been much better out on the road, which is a surprise. Not that they're playing well on the road, but they don't have a winning record at home.
There's only a few teams in the division. You know, this division is kind of just staying.
I mean, the Rockies obviously have played poorly at home, and that is a surprise with their history of playing so well at Coors Field. Plenty of time to turn it around, but we got to get it going. 17-22 for Colorado at 20th at Blake, 16-19 out on the road. The Dodgers have the best home mark. They're 27-13 at home. Then everybody else is either 500 or below, and that is a home run for Duffy. And now he's a single away from the cycle. 4-2 San Francisco. Second home run of the series for Matt Duffy.
And yesterday he was a triple away from the cycle. He was ahead in the count. The 2-1 pitch. Just up. Front foot lands down into the ground. And a full rotation of the hips and shoulders. One more look at this. And it had the high flight off the bat. 22nd home run given up by Kyle this year.
And Buster Posey hits one to deep left center, and a diving catch made out there by Brandon Barnes. And Posey's robbed. Great play by Barnes, who doesn't get many reps in center field, but he tracked that one beautifully.
I'll show you this one from high home because you can barely see him, and he's going to end up right over in this area as that ball takes off. And then he knows the full extension to reach that ball. Starts to leave his feet. Got it, and then secure it. When you hit the ground as an outfielder, that glove has to be slightly turned and your wrist has to be taut. Otherwise, it's going to pop out of there.
1-0 on Brandon Belt.
This is worthy of a third look. The ability that Brandon has to play all three outfield positions helps him because he gets jumps. He gets center field jumps playing left and right, but now he gets the skill set to show it off at center.
Yeah, he is a very good outfielder. 2 balls and a strike on Belt, hitting a .195 in June after a .339 May, in which he hit 7 home runs. Brandon Superman Barnes. Look at that catch he made out in right field last year, fully extended.
That one was the Superman of Supermans.
Yeah, because his body was parallel to the ground. He looked like Bobby Orr back in the 60s scoring that goal.
After scoring the goal.
Hawk is up for the Rockies. Rockies at the 5 spot in their lineup next inning. (4-2) San Francisco. Shift is on. Here's the 2-2 outside, 3-2. This is to Arenado, and Belt is out by a step. Brandon getting up the line out of that left side pretty quickly.
Mickey Mouse brings the magic of Disney to the ballpark on Sunday, August 6th. When you purchase a Mickey ticket package, you'll receive a Mickey Collector's Edition New Era Rockies baseball cap. Sunday, August 16th.
2 outs, nobody on. Brandon Crawford has struck out twice against Kendrick. And that is hit well to right, and it's gone. 10th home run for Brandon Crawford, most of his career. And it's 5-2. And that is the 23rd home run allowed by Kyle Kendrick. It continues to plague him.
Crawford had 10 home runs all of last year. And the first pitch that out to right field. Had that sound of a home run swing.
2 solo home runs in the inning. And it's turned what was a 1-run game into a 5-2 lead for the Giants. Blanco takes outside, ball 1. Ball and a strike on Blanco. And that ball's driven to deep right, and that ball is off the bricks. Cargo will get it back in, and Blanco stops at second with a double.
I think Walt was hoping that he could get Kyle through this inning. I don't think it's going to have a choice.
I don't know. He may still give him a chance with Maxwell. He's got Maxwell on a fly ball and a strikeout. And Maxwell's in a funk, but maybe not. So that'll be all for Kyle Kendrick as he gets hit hard here in the 6th inning after retiring his previous 7. He gave up the home run to Duffy. Buster Posey was robbed of extra bases by Brandon Barnes. The Belt ground ball and then Crawford's home run and now a double by Blanco. Well, Mark, you being a Jersey kid, an East Coast kid, you appreciate Steven Matz is from Long Island. He's pitching for the Mets, and a lot of their largest portion of their fan base is from Long Island. How much young pitching does the Mets have?
They crank it out there every start that they need.
Yeah, well, Wheeler,
if somebody gets hurt, they call somebody else up.
Wheeler obviously, let's foul back. 1-1. Look at the Troy Hawkins numbers.
He's been down for a few days. He'd been up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week. Started to have a little bit of a bicep issue, so shut him down for 2, and now back out there today.
That's why he was on the DL earlier, so the Rockies should be very cautious with that. Harvey and Syndergaard and Wheeler, who's hurt, Matt's up, and DeGrom. And they're all somewhat similar. They all have, 75 fastballs.
Very firm fastballs.
Yeah. 20 to 80 rating scale. 75 is about as good as it gets. 2 balls and a strike on Maxwell. Blanco at second. Charles down the right field line, and it goes foul.
Maxwell reminds me, just one of those guys that, the closer you get to him, the bigger he gets.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", strong guy.
Well, it's hard to call somebody 6'5" who's about 215 pounds.
No, but
a smaller version of Giancarlo Stanton.
But Dexter was that way. Dexter, from afar, you look at him, and then you just get up and he kept like, wow.
Dexter's wiry strong. Two on Maxwell. Got it. So Hawkins strikes out Maxwell to end the inning. Solo home run Matt Duffy. Solo home run Brandon Crawford. Blanco left at second. It's now 5-2 Giants. On Lexus Dealer. Arenado, a 2-run home run and a 15-game hitting streak. That happened early. Rockies at the top of the first inning got after Madison Bumgarner, but boy, Matt Duffy's been special today in this whole series. He has a double, triple, and a home run today. Buster Posey has driven in 3, and last inning Brandon Crawford hit a home run as well. He added up, and the Giants have a 3-run lead, 5-2. And here in the 7th inning, Willeen Rosario leads off against Bumgarner. He had an infield hit his last time. Bumgarner as he begins the 7th inning, has thrown just 74 pitches.
Well, he's only had 29 pitches in the last 3 innings.
In fact, since the 3rd inning, the only guy to reach by a hit or a walk was Rosario, that infield hit. Christian Bergman's now in the pen. I think is it Christian Friedrich down there who's playing protector? Because he just made an error.
Well, he did protect Pat Burgess, who's catching the bullpen, to keep it from hitting him.
So he's more like a goalie there.
Yeah,
He
he
kicked
just
it to
kind
the
of
corner.
kicked it to the corner.
That's a great shot of Bergman working. And this is going to be another tough. Oh, it's foul ball. Okay. I say it's going to be a tough play, and then I was looking at Duffy, and then I was looking at Willeen. Willeen hadn't left the box.
Didn't get him by much, but he got him.
You heard the description of Greg Gibson. Didn't get much, but it got him.
So everybody's aware of what happened.
Foul ball.
Right off the toe.
Well, Lynch just said didn't get much. My big toe's screaming. Kidding me? 0-2. Almost got his toe again. You know, maybe it didn't hit his toe. Maybe it hit the back twice.
Either way, it's foul ball.
That makes it a foul ball also. Again, it's a curveball, and it's 2-2.
A few curveballs in a row. And Madison likes to elevate his fastball, take it up by the letters, change the eye angle.
In the month of June, he's got a lot of guys to chase after that fastball that's slightly out of the zone up. Nick Hundley's 0 for 2. Nick will take his turn against Bumgarner. Giants will fly to Miami after the game. They'll have a day off tomorrow. And then Tuesday will begin a series against Miami. They'll continue on to Washington after that. The Rockies will stay put. They'll take on the Oakland A's beginning tomorrow night.
You and I were talking about it's so nice on a Sunday not to think about it. You got to pack up and go. You just go back to the hotel the night.
Really nice. They're at the O.Co Coliseum tomorrow.
The what?
You know what they call it? The O.Co?
I think so. I just remembered Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
Well,
right next to where the
A's fans and the Oakland A's would like to have a new home.
And they deserve one and need one.
They need one. They do deserve one.
Right next door to where the NBA World Champs are.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that. I'm sure we will more tomorrow. But Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala and the world champion Golden State Warriors, first time in over 40 years when Al Attles led them to a world championship. Bay Area has been busy the last week with parades. Mentioned the Pride Parade today. The parade last week for Golden State in Oakland. That's a team that both sides of the Bay share. Obviously, when you're in Alameda County, you're talking mostly about A's fans. Over here, more Giant fans. This ball's lifted to left, and Blanco makes the catch. 2 outs, Brandon Barnes coming up. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code is ROXWIN at papajohns.com. Six chases.
After that first inning for Madison, he settled in nicely at the lead. Now he's just filling up the strike zone. 58 out of his 84 pitches have been strikes.
That slipped out of his hand.
I say that, or either that, or it was an ephus pitch.
Two. Two outs, nobody on for the Rockies in the seventh.
Watch it.
Bumgarner, a two-time All-Star. And that is strikeout number 7. A 1, 2, 3, 7th inning. He has retired 11 in a row. And the Giants lead the Rockies 5-2. The Rockies got after him early with the 2-run home run from Nolan Arenado, but since then he has looked like the World Series MVP and one of the elite pitchers in the game, as he has struck out 7 and retired 11 in a row as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. A couple of changes to tell you about as you see Madison Bumgarner getting ready to hit. Christian Bergman is now on the hill for the Rockies. And we'll try to get some length out of Bergman. So the Rockies do a double switch. Barnes, who made the last out, will come out. Charlie Blackmon goes into center field. Charlie will lead off next inning. So there's a look at Christian.
Well, 17 appearances out of the relief spot, 1 start. But as a reliever, 2-0. That's where both of those wins came from. Last pitched a few days back against Arizona, 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, couple strikeouts.
So LaTroy Hawkins went just a third of an inning, and he struck out the one batter he faced. And Madison Bumgarner out front on a breaking ball. Bumgarner a base hit and a sharp one hopper to Tulowitzki. The Baltimore Orioles, 5,000 career wins. Franchise wins. Off the plate with a cutter. This ball is hammered to left.
Good foul.
Fair ball, home run. (6-2) San Francisco. Second home run for Madison Bumgarner.
His other one was off Clayton Kershaw earlier this year.
He loves to hit. You can see why. In his career, that's his 8th home run.
And that was a 1-2 pitch. The question was it going to stay fair or go foul? Stay around the pole and another home run. It hits the pole. Up pretty high. That's why it gave the appearance that it might be foul. At first, you didn't see it go off the pole.
Boy, Nolan again. I don't know if he can see this one. Wow, I don't know how he caught that.
And he had the high step, like a hurdler over the bag at third base. He said, just go back. Just watch Nolan taking off. Just watch how he has to also worry about the bag. Right there, he steps over it. This is as tough as it gets in these conditions. There were a few of those days at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, no fun.
No, you look up and you just saying, boy, I hope I see it at some point.
Panic's 0 for 3. Two strikes. Tulowitzki will slide to the right side. 2-2. The on-deck circle's Matt Duffy. The crowd's really going to be involved when he comes up because he has a triple-double home run today. That's a base hit for Panic. No Giant has ever hit for the cycle at AT&T Park. The last Giant to hit for a cycle was the current Red Sox, who was actually homered today, by the way, Pablo Sandoval, at Coors Field in 2011.
Matt Duffy today starts it off with the triples alley. Comes up with an inside out double over the bag at first base. And then the big fly in his last at bat.
And that is a foul ball. Crowd's not going to be happy.
Bruce Bochy's going to argue this.
Yeah.
Well, Lane comes off the bag and he dives. The question becomes, where is the glove when it goes off the ball goes off of it.
That's close.
And I think he might be asking Greg Gibson at home plate to say, you might have a better angle at that than Chris at first. You want to look at is what he's asking. And they will.
Well, first they're going to get everybody together.
I don't know why you would get the second and the third base umpires together, because they couldn't have any better look than the home plate or first base umpire. And Greg Gibson's the crew chief.
Well, now they'll put the headsets on, and I'm with you. Again, I don't know. They obviously know the machinations of how it works. I don't understand why they would all get together. Just, you know, if they want it reviewed, Bruce Bochy and Ron Woda said they wanted it reviewed, then you go review it. Time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes.
Comes off the bag, and it's real difficult to see
that angle
from that angle.
Yeah, that angle. I mean, you can't turn it over, turn it around based on that angle, I wouldn't think. You know,
it does go off the glove.
You know, from that, again, it's a poor angle.
I don't think there's any way you can overturn it if you're using those angles. Because where's the glove when that ball goes off? When the ball goes off the glove. That's what you have to determine. Now, New York does have different angles, and the Giants might have a different angle.
Well, I mean, Tavis Strand, our producer's telling us, because he's getting also the Giant angles, and that's the best angles they have. So I don't think New York has anything different than what we're showing you right now. I don't think you can flip it around based on that.
No, I don't think you can either.
Taking a long time, obviously, looking it over.
Just a reminder, it's always the guy that's involved in the call and the crew chief.
I told you the last cycle for the Giants was Pablo Sandoval against the Rockies in 2011. The last one prior to that was 2007, also against the Rockies at Coors Field by Fred Lewis, the Mississippi native. I remember that game. Rockies have fallen behind 6-2. 3 straight solo home runs. Matt Duffy, Brandon Crawford, not in a row, but over the last inning. And then Madison Bumgarner this inning.
We've got a couple long reviews out here in California.
Well, the
one, 408, 406?
Yeah, the one yesterday was the longest I can recall. It was over 4 minutes, and this has got to be approaching that right now. I will say that the length of the one yesterday and the length of the one today, that has been more of an aberration. They have been very good at making a decision quickly, and you know, there was a great fear that the reviews would hold up the pace of play. I really don't think that's been the case. I think fans appreciate that the call, at the end of the day, the call on the field is being, you know, corrected if it was wrong. And
well,
it's usually done, you know, in an expeditious fashion. But this is a tough one, evidently, for the folks in New York, and it's taken a while.
And also the old way that would happen, one manager come out, he would argue for 30, 40 seconds, and then if they reversed it, then the other manager come out and argue.
It is a foul ball. So, again, and that's what we thought. It's going to be hard to flip that around based on the angles that were provided. .427, the length of the review, if you keep track of such things at home. And see, this angle right here is the only one to me that may have favored the Giants' case. That ball is to third, and the Rockies turn it over, 5-4-3. Nice play by Nolan to get it started, and that'll end the inning. And now the crowd really booing because they wanted Duffy to have that base hit, and the cycle naturally. Home run by Bumgarner makes it 6-2 as we go to the 8th.
The players and coaches were allowed to vote for the All-Star game. They had a quick window between Friday and before the start of the game today, so the ballots are in, and the Rockies hope to have a lot of representation coming from their clubhouse.
We're hoping to be represented there. Nolan's having, man, he's turned it up a notch. It's MVP-like right now when you look at both sides of the ball. So DJ, I'm really pulling for DJ to be in that game. I know there's some good second basemen in the league, but that would really be great if DJ get in that All-Star game.
Players were allowed to vote for members of their own team, so you know that there's at least 25 votes coming from in the clubhouse for Nolan Arenado and DJ LeMahieu. Hopefully players around the league also took notice. They should definitely do that on Nolan Arenado. That's because this week alone, he's had 6 home runs off 8 hits and 12 RBI. Those are player of the week type numbers, so hopefully Nolan will get a little more recognition this week, guys.
Well, both of those guys deserve to be there. Both of those guys, without question, deserve to be in Cincinnati. .02 on Charlie. First at bat for Blackman. He came in last inning in a double switch in center field. Charlie 6 for 14 lifetime against Bumgarner. The Rockies down by 4 runs, trying to rally here in the 8th inning. Rockies had a lot of traffic in the first few against Bumgarner, mainly the first and third. 2-run home run among 3 hits in the first frame against Bumgarner. And the Rockies had first and second, 1 out in the 3rd inning with Arenado up again. But he fouled out and Cargo struck out. And Melin Rosario led off the 4th with an infield hit. That's the last Rocky to reach as Charlie strikes out.
8 strikeout for Baumgartner to go along with 6 flyouts, 8 groundouts. Hey, fans, you can still vote for your Rockies All-Stars on your computer, tablet, or smartphone on the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot exclusively at Rockies.com. Voting ends July 2nd. And don't miss the 86th Annual All-Star Game on July 14th. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Mountain on Fox.
Yeah, Raffy thought about a bunt. Good idea. Pulled it back. It was in the strike zone.
That's it, ball.
What a catch by Pagan out there. Knee looked pretty good on that. Straight retired by Madison Bumgarner. And with 2 outs, DJ LeMahieu will take his turn. DJ a single, a walk, and a ground ball to short. He's had quality at bats against Bumgarner. 95 pitches in.
The season high for pitches is 112 for Madison. 11 days ago at Seattle.
You know, back before pitch counts were publicized or even kept, guys threw 250 plus innings, the real horses in baseball, sometimes 300 innings. Madison Bumgarner's kind of from that school. Go back to something we discussed earlier in the ball game, Jeff. There was concern around baseball. Okay, how would Bumgarner bounce back this year after throwing 270 innings, throwing an extra month of baseball with October? Well, the record's 7-4 only because they haven't scored a lot of runs for him. The finer print numbers suggest he is throwing the ball every bit as well, if not better, than he did a year ago.
It doesn't matter whether it's his fastball velocity is still the same, the cutter, the slider, changeup.
Well,
and some guys are just built that way. They're just built to withstand. I think Madison is one of those guys.
He has 96 strikeouts and just 19 walks this year.
And then obviously without him, they wouldn't have won that World Series last year.
Let me correct that. I'm sorry. He has 110 strikeouts and 19 walks. He just walked another. So he has 110 strikeouts and 20 walks. That walk came on his 100th pitch. I looked at the hits category for a moment. He's given up 93 hits. Coach is going to go get him. 93 hits in 108 innings. Well, this guy will never buy a beverage or a meal in his lifetime in the Bay Area. 6-2 Giants. On Nolan Arenado's 23rd home run. It extended his hitting streak, the best in baseball, to 15 games. Matt Duffy is a single shy of a cycle. Madison Bumgarner was terrific in what he's paid to do, and that is pitch, but he also threw out a couple of hits, including a solo home run, his second of the year. Rockies here in the 8th inning with 2 outs. DJ just walked for the second time, and Tulowitzki will face Sergio Romo.
Right, he's hitting 179 against Romo, but Troy has had some success against Sergio in his career. 3 for 9, so a 333 average, and also 1 home run. Javi Lopez, left-hander, just hopped down to the bullpen for the Giant.
I heard Walt describe this recently. A manager prepares for the worst case scenario. Bruce Bochy preparing for the potential that Romo doesn't get Tulowitzki or Arenado, and Carr goes up there representing the tying run. That's why he's got Lopez up. Hopefully that happens.
Well, they have to be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Troy with a 12-game hitting streak after the single in the 3rd inning. And this ball lined down the left field line. It's hooking into the crowd foul.
He's got out on the front too much of the slider. We're wiping off the end of the bat because that's where he caught that ball.
Rockies haven't touched second base since the 3rd inning. Tulo singled with DJ at first. And Rockies at first and second with 1 out. Could not score. Colorado's been out hit 10-5. Two and 2. Runs full, so DJ will take off with the pitch. Rockies trying to turn the tables on the Giants. The Giants overcame a 3-0 deficit and a 5-3 middle inning deficit yesterday to win. Rockies down 6-2. 2 outs in the 8th.
And they get a slider from Romo.
And he knows it. No, he got a fastball. Wow. And Crawford throws out Tulowitzki.
Fooled everybody.
Giants up by 4. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price, sales and service guaranteed. And by StubHub, Rockies fans, next time you need great seats, get StubHub without the surprise fees. Some of the most spectacular scenery you will see anywhere. And if you have that ability with watercolors, paint a beautiful picture. 6-2 Giants. The picture not so pretty for the Rockies. Bottom of the 8th inning, 1-1 on Buster Posey. Second inning of work for Christian Bergman. He gave up a home run last inning to Madison Bumgarner. Posey is 2 for 3. 3 runs driven in. And the only time the Rockies got him out was because of the diving catch in left center field by Brandon Barnes.
Zach Brown Band is coming to Coors Field Friday, July 3rd. The event will be the first exclusive concert event to be held at Coors Field. Get your tickets now at Rockies.com/ZBB. The Zach Brown Band.
High fly ball to Blackmon in center. Charlie's got it. Posey retired. Brandon Belt will come up. Belt 0 for 3. A foul out, a fly ball to center, and a ground ball to third. Slider is outside.
Effective pitch into Brandon Belt up in the zone.
No ball on the back door, and it's a 1-2 count. It's an effective pitch as well. And he got him to chase up. That was a good sequence there from Christian Bergman. 2 outs. Time for our CenturyLink link to what's next. Here's the pitching matchups across the bay. In Oakland, David Hale tomorrow will go against Kendall Graveman. Jorge De La Rosa, and the finger is healing up. Originally, Rockies thought they may have to skip him. Jorge is doing much better with that finger issue, and he'll have a tough pony in Sonny Gray on the other side. Sonny Gray 9 through the 209. Chad Bettis on Wednesday against Jesse Hahn. See Stephen Vogt's back in the lineup for Oakland. Good hitting catcher. 1-0 on Crawford. 2 strikeouts and the home run to right field.
We talked about De La Rosa. Yesterday was a big day for him. He threw his bullpen about 10:15 yesterday morning. And that's when they decided that there wasn't going to be problems with that. So kudos to Keith Duggar and the training staff for getting that healed up. And if you want to, can you just put some super glue on there? No, you can't do that because you can't pitch with foreign substance on your hand.
No, and I asked De La if it's one particular pitch that usually makes it a problem, and he said no. I mean, you know, you're always grabbing a seam. It's not, you know, the splitter, let's say, or his 2-seam fastball. It's all of them. 3 balls, 2 strikes. What some pitchers use, they use pickle juice
They tried everything. Pickle juice was probably the primary one. That was more with the blister.
It's redirected to Tulo, and it's a 1-6-3 play if you score at home. 1-2-3 inning for Bergman, so the Rockies will go to the 9th inning trailing 6-2. Nolan will lead off. It travels easy in the Cactus League, but you know, anybody involved in baseball is constantly on the move. So to play 6 games and not have to leave the same hotel, I mean, it's really nice for everybody involved.
Well, especially like a city like this in San Francisco.
Yeah,
you have many different eating options,
which you and I
partake of.
Try to fill out as many as we can. Nolan Arenado will lead off the 9th. Sergio Romo remains out there. Nolan got that dugout excited with a 2-run home run in the first.
One of 4 home runs that have been hit today. We talk about the ball flying more during the day here than it does at night. That's been the case. Obviously this Sunday afternoon.
Well, maybe the Rockies can revisit what they did last year against Romo, knocking him out of his closer spot. Because he is not the closer anymore. He's more of the 8th inning guy. Santiago Casilla does the closing with the 4-run lead. We're leaving Romo in there. One ball, 2 strikes on Nolan, a foul out and a deep drive to left, also robbed of a double by Gregor Blanco.
You mentioned knocking Romo out of the closer's role. He had 23 saves last year, but the year before he had 43.
Ball's lifted to deep left field, way back, got a chance to go. See you later. Another home run for Nolan Arenado, and it's 6-3. His 24th of the year. Another multi-home run game for Nolan. 8 home runs his last 7 games.
That's 3 multi-hit home run games this week. And 1 against Arizona, 1 on Friday night, and now 1 today on Sunday. Talk about a guy that just unconscious. Nolan is.
I'll tell you what, not that there's any doubt in my mind that Nolan Arenado is going to be an all-star. But keep in mind, the all-star manager is watching this closely, Bruce Bochy. So Cargo will face Lopez when we come back. It's 6-3. All three. And now Cargo will face Javi Lopez. Lopez is out there for one hitter. Cargo got him the other day. He ripped a double to give the Rockies a 4-3 lead. That was on Friday night.
That was a double off the right field wall. I agree. Just drop what you're doing and go vote now. Vote for Nolan.
This ball's ripped to left center field, but it's going to die in the glove of Blanco. Wow. I thought off the bat you're talking about a ball that's going to be off the wall. Didn't that have that loud sound to it?
It did, and then just hit that wall in left center. And now Bruce Bochy's going to his closer, Casilla. And this is just a piecemeal ninth inning.
By T-Mobile. Nolan Arenado, 2-run home run in the first on a curveball from Madison Bumgarner. And then against Sergio Romo, he hit a slider out in a similar spot. So with 1 out and a run in, Willeen Rosario against Casilla inside, ball 1.
Casilla appeared in yesterday's game, recorded his 20th save, but the Rockies made him work. He threw 21 pitches, only 9 strikes. He was fortunate to escape that.
Ball and a strike now on Willeen. Infield hit in the 4th, 1 for 3. When you get in these situations, it's often said, all you can hope for when you're down by multiple runs in the 9th is to somehow get that tying run up there and somebody who has the ability to run into one. Well, this is a start. A base hit for Willeen. And now you're one more base runner from having such a situation.
Yeah, Willeen now 3 for 15 career off Casilla. Just as we kind of thought, Ben Paulson will be that guy to come up. And he'll be on the on-deck circle. And you get Nick on base. Three for 11 career is Nick off of Santiago.
He takes a strike. He wants tacos. Fans follow @RootsSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more in a ball game. Garcia starts a 1-6-3 game-ending double play, and the Giants win the ball game 6-3 as they take 2 of 3 from the Rockies. Rockies got the quick jump today, 2-0, but Madison Bumgarner put his foot down, and the Giants end up winning 6-3. Bumgarner improves to 8-4 on the season. Kyle Kendrick takes the loss. He's now 3-10. And for Santiago Casilla, it is his 21st save of the year. So the Rockies will get prepared for the Oakland A's. The Giants will head to the East Coast. They'll take on the Marlins beginning Tuesday. Game time 2 hours and 55 minutes. 6-3 the final, despite the big bat of Nolan Arenado once again. Let's get it back to our Root Sports studios in Denver with Mark and Corey standing by. Marco,